knowing that the people that you spend the most time with, whatever state they're in, your mirror neurons are going to pick up on it, and they're going to push you and your nervous system in the same direction as theirs. And so if there are people in your life who really have a calm safety about them and who don't seem stressed out or shut down and disconnected, spend as much time as you can with them. And in the same way, if you can avoid people whose nervous systems are really in the red, they're really dysregulated all the time, spending less time with those people.
You're watching Developing Potential with Diana Keuilian.
Hi, friends. Welcome back. Today, we are talking about what it feels like to be stuck. And this is a topic that, comes up a lot in therapy, where clients will come in and they'll say, I'm just stuck. I feel like something's holding me back. And then they might say, there's something wrong with me, but I'm not sure what it is. And so today I want to talk about this, and I want to share with you the lens of polyvagal theory. And really what that means is looking at your autonomic nervous system and looking for dysregulation. And so I'm not going to speak in this scientific words. We're going to make this real and practical for your life. But essentially, what we're going to learn about is identifying the three main states that our nervous system is in at all times, being able to identify those in ourselves, and looking for stuck places, right? Places where our actual nervous system is stuck, kind of like in this survival mode versus being in this safe, connected mode. And we can feel when our nervous system is off. We can't always articulate what it is, right? Because we just experience the world through our body, and our nervous system is doing its thing automatically. And it's really doing its thing to keep us safe and protected, which is what we want, right? And it's called autonomic nervous system because this happens without our involvement. This is an automatic process. And so first, let's just talk about the three states that your nervous system is in. And we're going to start trying to draw a connection between your experience and then this information about it. So the first state is, and I give it a color as well because it helps to really picture yourself as a color in each state. So the first one is green. And we know green is happy. The technical term is ventral vagal. And so in this green state, our nervous system feels safe. There's no imminent danger around us. We are not on high alert. Instead, we are looking to be connected with people around us. We want to be social, and we want to enjoy and savor things in our life. So this green state, this ventral vagal state, is really the state that we want to be in. In this state, our emotions are under control, our body feels good, and we're prioritizing relationships and connection with other people. And then this other part, this enjoyment and savoring, right? These are these moments when you're able to kind of look around and just be like, wow, the world is amazing. Being filled with gratitude, that is a ventral vagal green state. It's when your nervous system is safe and happy. So the next state is orange. You could say orange or red. And this is when we're mobilized. So this is our sympathetic nervous system. And we know this as fight or flight, right? And we experience this by having our heart kind of race up a little bit. We might feel like we're sweating. We could feel our heart pounding. We're going to be far more alert. We're not going to be really in a social mood, right? Because we are on edge. This is when we feel stressed, can feel like it's hard to really pay attention to someone in front of you because you're on alert. You almost feel like you're under attack or you're going to be under attack. Now, when we look at like our ancestors and we look at the caveman, this made so much sense, right? He's out in nature. He sees a lion, and all of the sudden, his sympathetic nervous system is activated. He is deciding whether to fight or flee, right? He's figuring out what he's going to do. And all that he's focused on is staying alive from this danger. And in today's modern world, unfortunately, we get that same state in our nervous system for work stress, right? For things like commuting, for relationship stress. When we talk about chronic stress, like lifestyle stress, really what we're saying is that our nervous system is in this like orange or red state where it feels like we're under attack or we're about to be under attack. And so this is not a comfortable, relaxed state to be in. This is stress and agitation and distraction. The third state that our nervous system goes into is blue, and this is dorsal vagal freeze. So we know this freeze response. We see it in nature when animals are under attack and they get to this place where they realize, like, I can't fight my way out of it and I can't run away from this. And so what happens is the mammal just literally goes into freeze, and they are not going to fight back. They're going to essentially play dead, and their body releases endorphins, like almost like a internal Advil, to prepare for their doom. Now, humans have this same response, and this happens way more often than we think. The way that you know you're going into this dorsal vagal state of freeze, feeling disconnected, feeling like, if you've ever had the experience where like you're driving somewhere and you get there and you're like, I don't remember that whole drive, right? You're almost disassociating a little bit. You're being disconnected from what's happening to you. That's like your body's going into this dorsal vagal blue freeze state. If you've ever spaced out, or if you have difficulty like staying with a conversation, and then in more extreme cases, finding that you're trying to isolate yourself, or when you're with people, you're really not present, right? You're really not staying with what's happening because inside you've really kind of just gone into this freeze state. So those are the three states. The green, I'm safe, I'm connected. The orange or red, like I'm alert, I'm kind of under attack, or I'm about to be under attack. And then this like freeze, this blue dorsal shutdown of just like, I kind of want to disappear, right? I want to be small, and then the threats around me will leave me alone. But I'm isolated, I'm not connected. And so learning about these three states is so important for us to translate into our own experience. So when we really start to feel stuck in life, or we don't feel fulfilled and connected, we're in this place where we're kind of wondering, like, what's wrong with me? It helps to look at what state your autonomic nervous system kind of is stuck in. And so it might be that you're kind of stuck in the orange and the red, where you're always stressed out, right? You're always preoccupied with trying to avoid some kind of consequences, or you're worried. Anxiety, right? If you've ever experienced anxiety or racing thoughts, you're in the orange or red state. And so you can get stuck there. Now, we talk about these states as a ladder, with the green is on the top, the orange is in the middle, and then down at the bottom, we have that blue shutdown. And we call it a ladder because you mobilize yourself through the states in that same order, right? And so if you're agitated and you're anxious and you're in this, orange-red state, you're going one or two ways. You're either going to relieve yourself of that, and you're going to, we call like regulate yourself and go up into the green, and you're going to come to a place where like, okay, I'm good. I can enjoy, I can connect, get into that nice ventral vagal place that we want to be in. Or you're going to feel too overwhelmed and you're going to go down into that shutdown. And that's when, okay, now maybe I'm spacing out, maybe I'm isolating. There's a shutdown that happens. And so being able to notice your own experience and start to connect it to like, what state is my nervous system in? This is such a great step towards having better mental health, having a better option for getting yourself back into that safe, green, ventral vagal state. Oftentimes, on this program, I talk about the more awareness that we have of what's happening in our inner world, the more we can step back from just experiencing what's happening, being in it, almost like you're in the storm, to stepping outside of it and looking at it, right? We do this by becoming the observer, and we can do this with our thoughts, with our emotions, with the state of our nervous system. The second that we step back and we start observing what's happening inside of us, it's a step where we then have more power, we have more clarity, and we just have more options. And so this is, if there's one thing you take away from this episode, it might be just that, hey, like, I can look at my experience from the position of an observer, and already you're going to start to feel a little more regulated because you're not in the storm anymore. It's still happening. You're still experiencing it, but you're noticing it. It's such a powerful thing. So noticing what state you're in, right? So if you're feeling anxious, you're feeling stressed, knowing like, hey, I'm in the red right now. I'm in fight or flight, and there's more activation in my body. Maybe I feel my heart is going. Maybe I feel like I'm sweating. Maybe I feel like there's energy in my body, right? Your body's mobilized. It's ready for action. And if it's not appropriate, and this is where we get stuck, is when we get stuck in these survival states, but it's not appropriate for the setting, right? If you're at work or if you're at a social gathering, you shouldn't be in a survival state. You should be able to be in this ventral vagal, like, I'm here, I'm safe, I'm connected, I can perform, or I can engage with people in a clear-headed way, right? And so if you're feeling this mobilization in your body with the anxiety, knowing that you're in it is the first step. So you've separated yourself. And now it's, how do I intentionally remind my body, communicate with my nervous system, and let myself know that I'm safe so that I can move up the ladder to the green ventral vagal state, right? How can I communicate with my nervous system that it's safe to go into a connection mode? And so there's a lot of different, techniques and skills that we can build to do this for ourselves. And we call this vagal tone. So essentially, the stronger your vagal tone, the quicker you can move from state to state, because you don't want to always be in this, safe, zenned out green zone. Because if there's danger, you need your body to respond, right? And if the danger is so great that your best bet is to, shut down, you need your body to do that. So you need all three of these levels of your autonomic nervous system. But what you want is this strong vagal tone to be able to quickly and flexibly move from state to state to appropriately respond to the environment that you're in, right? And so building your capacity to move into the green is the goal. So the most simple, basic, easy way to immediately communicate with your nervous system that you're safe is through breathing. And we've gone through breathing exercises before, but what I really like is a breathing exercise that involves counting, because I feel like this also kind of gets your cortex under control, and you start like controlling your thoughts, you're controlling your body, And the whole thing is like, okay, I'm calm. And so doing something like a box breathing, where you're going to breathe in for 4 counts, you're going to hold your breath and count to 4, you're going to exhale for 4 full counts, then you hold your breath again and count to 4. And then you just keep repeating it like you're just creating this box in your mind. And that's a way to really move yourself out of this activated orange-red state to more of a green, calmer, like, hey, I'm safe. Like maybe my nervous system's kind of thought that I was under attack or is just sort of stuck in this mode, but now I can communicate and move myself to the safer place using breath. Another great way to start building your vagal tone and your capacity for being in the green zone is nature. And I know some people are like, I don't like nature, but for most of us, if we're outside, even if you just step outside and look at the sky or, sink your feet into some grass, being around or immersed in nature, of course, without like a lion or a bear around the corner, like a safe setting in nature, is a really intrinsic way to move into the green zone. Another one is movement. So, like smooth, slow movement, like yoga or dancing or really anything where you're moving your body, you're safe and you're enjoying the movement. That's getting yourself into the green. Music, arts, connecting with animals. We say that having pets is really healthy for emotional and mental health. And one of the reasons for this is because we co-regulate with animals. We co-regulate with humans as well, but we also co-regulate with animals. And what does that mean? That means that my nervous system tunes in to the nervous system of my dog or my cat. And if they're in a calm, green, ventral vagal state, my nervous system automatically is going to want to be more calm the same way that they are. Now, in this same way, if you're around someone who's a stress case or who is angry a lot, your nervous system is going to want to get in the red just like they are. So it goes both ways. But since pets are typically, their nervous systems react more appropriately to actual danger than ours because we have all this like stress and different things that we think about as opposed to like real threats in front of us. And so they're in that green ventral vagal often. And so you spend time with your dog, you're training your own nervous system to be more chill and to be like, hey, I'm safe. I can connect. Another thing is really self-care. And we talk about self-care as something that's necessary, right? It's not like, oh, that's great, that's nice to do, that's like this extra thing. No, it's necessary. And when you're doing the self-care, and for me, my self-care, I love taking baths. I love, lighting a candle or just like, I have a plunge tank, which I think I've talked about before, which is 39 degrees and going in there for 3 minutes and then going into a hot bath. For me, that's great for my nervous system. Like that's me helping my nervous system live more in the green. So finding these self-care acts where you're intentionally getting yourself into this ventral vagal state of green safety, and then building your capacity to stay there and to be there more. And so I do just want to leave you with this, the power of co-regulation. So knowing that the people that you spend the most time with, whatever state they're in, your mirror neurons are going to pick up on it and they're going to push you and your nervous system in the same direction as theirs. And so if there are people in your life who really have a calm safety about them and who don't seem stressed out or shut down and disconnected, okay, this person has really great regulation and they're in this green ventral vagal state often. Spend as much time as you can with them. And in the same way, if you can avoid people whose nervous systems are really in the red, they're really dysregulated all the time, spending less time with those people so that you can really build your own vagal tone and spend more time in the green where you can enjoy, you can savor, and you can connect with others. And you can just feel like good and happy and not stuck and like there's something wrong with you. So I hope this has been helpful. If you're interested to learn more, you can search up polyvagal theory. You will learn all about it. There's some cool animated videos and different things really explaining what your autonomic nervous system does and how you can use it to get unstuck and to enjoy life more. So I hope this has been helpful. If you like it, please like, subscribe, share it with a friend, and I'll be back next week. Take care.
Thanks for watching Developing Potential with Diana Keuilian.